Hey there! Welcome to another Waiting in the Sky Pokemon challenge. This is our third challenge video here on the channel. The first two brought us through the Kanto and Johto regions, and following the trend, today will be all about Hoenn. As determined by a spin of the wheel at the end of the last video, I will be playing through Pokemon Emerald with only Steel-type Pokemon. So how's this all going down? Well, my rules for this challenge are as follows. 1. I am only able to catch the first Steel-type or eventual Steel-type encounter in a particular area or route. 2. My Pokemon's levels are limited to that of the highest level Pokemon in the next gym leader battle or the Pokemon League champion. 3. No use of items in battle with the exception of held items. And 4. Any Pokemon that faints must be released back into the wild. However, if I lose a battle outright, I do reserve the right to reload a save and try again. Think of this as the best case possible clause that allows me to show you all a successful run as often as possible. After 3 runs, I'm now officially referring to this rule set as a Skylock. But enough branding talk, let's get into it. So to begin one of my favorite entries in the series, we're introduced to Professor Birch, our first evidence that these professors are just getting younger and hotter. I mean, come on, the lab coat with shorts and sandals? He asks the usual questions, and after composing myself, I tell him I'm a boy and my name is Tony. This is a subtle reference to the Marvel character Tony Stark, whose friends call him Tony. You probably know him by another name, though.
Are you Tony Stank?
Yes, this is Tony Stank.
Jokes aside, it seemed fitting to take on the mantle of Iron Man in this steel-only run. Eventually, I'm let out of my moving truck prison and step foot for the first time in the Hoenn region, ready to tackle this new challenge. After setting my clock, we get to see a unique feature in the Hoenn games, a present father. Mom calls for me to watch him on TV, and he tells us exactly what we need to hear.
You know what I'm most proud of? You.
Fully inspired, I head next door to meet our rival for the game, May.
It's so hard for me to believe that she's someone's aunt.
Yeah, well, we come in all shapes and sizes, you know.
She mentioned something about her dad, but it was boring, so I left and started to head north, where a little girl asked me to risk my life because she doesn't have a Pokemon. What do you expect me to do? It's not like I have a Pokemon. Oh, look, free Pokemon. So obviously it's Professor Birch being chased by a Pokemon, and he asked me to choose a Pokemon from his bag to send out in his defense. Now, if you watched the last challenge video where I played Heart Gold with flying types only, you'll know that the carryover Pokemon I chose for this challenge was Grim, my Scyther. Grim fits the qualifications as a Pokemon that I caught but did not use in the previous challenge, and also fits the new challenge. So I've replaced Trico with Scyther using the Universal Pokemon Randomizer, and we'll be using Scyther as our starter Pokemon. This is also a good time to mention that due to the extremely limited options for Steel types in this game, I'm allowing myself to use Pokemon that will eventually become a Steel type in battle, like Grim here. After Birch tries to set me up with his daughter, I can take a look at a summary of Grim to see her lax nature that raises defense and lowers special defense, and Swarm ability that boosts bug moves at low health. I journey north to Odale Town and onto Route 103. There, I do some grinding and EV training against Poochyena for attack and Zigzagoon and Wingull for speed. Steel types are generally defensive, so focusing on increasing these stats can help make Grim pretty well balanced offensively and defensively. After reaching level 10, I speak to May, who challenges me to the first rival battle of the run. Obviously, I make quick work of Torchic here, but as a future fire fighting type, May's starter has an obvious advantage over my future bug steel type. I go with May back to Birch's lab, where I'm given a Pokedex that I have literally zero interest in completing. But Mom is clutch and gives me the running shoes so I can zip ahead through a bunch of largely irrelevant events to our first gym battle. Of note though are saying hi to Dad at the gym and being asked to teach Wally how to catch a Pokemon, being stopped by some random guy in a Hawaiian shirt, stopping a pirate from robbing a businessman in the woods, learning about berries from a flower shop, and obviously fooling a father into trying to make his daughter laugh by saying, "Pajamas." All of this, of course, leads us to the gym leader of Rustboro. Now, here's the thing. I've been dreading this moment from the beginning. Or honestly, I've been dreading this moment since that wheel first landed on Steel type. Scyther, though eventually evolving into a Steel bug type, is a bug flying type. This makes Grimm 4 times weak to rock type moves. I tried this battle a bunch of times, and even made it to Nose Pass a couple of times with some serious luck. But unfortunately, that 4 times weakness, along with a 3-to-1 Pokemon disadvantage, Roxanne's liberal potion usage, and the lack of an available super effective move since Scyther can't learn Bullet Seed, just leads to too tall of a task. While I can't statistically rule out that this battle is winnable, the odds are incredibly slim. This means I have to call this run here. Grimm, despite her determination, is just not destined to lead us to victory in Hoenn. But you know who can?
Mecha Grimm.
So I boot the Universal Randomizer back up and now give myself the option of Scizor as a starter in place of Trico. Then I proceeded through the first 30 minutes of the game again, shown to you in only about 2 minutes. Now I will take this minute to say that technically, Scizor is obtainable at any level because it's a trait evolution. So if you are okay with using Scyther as a starter, you should also be okay with using Scizor now. After all the opening game fun, Mecha Grimm and I are led back to this particular point.
Oh my!
This time though, Mecha Grimm takes neutral damage to rock moves as opposed to the 4 times that regular old Grimm took. I'll also note, Mecha Grimm's nature here is naive, with a boost to speed at the cost of special defense. Now upgraded, I challenge the Rustboro gym leader once again. This time, I can take the victory relatively easily, as Mecha Grimm withstands rock moves from both Geodudes and Nose Pass, eventually bringing all 3 down with Pursuit. Our run has been restored with only the tiniest of asterisks. Asterisks. For our victory, Roxanne hands over the Stone Badge and the Rock Tomb TM.
I don't like being handed things.
And I can now continue my journey. Of course, this starts out with another robbery. I take out the Aqua Grunt in Rust Turf Tunnel, recover the goods, and save Mr. Briney's Wingull. This opens up the next steps in the story where Devon's President Stone gives me a Pokénav and asks me to deliver the goods to Slateport and a letter to his son Steven in Dewford. Why he can't just call his son on the Pokénav is beyond me, but boomers are weird. I tear through May's 2 Pokemon team on my way out of Rustboro, and since both of my destinations require water travel, and I've yet to get the HM for Surf, I'll need some help.
I have an idea.
Me too. Where's yours?
Downstairs. Where's yours?
Once ashore at Dewford Town, I can head to the Granite Cave for our first of very few additions to our team, Erin. I catch one and name her
Aaron.
Obviously, and although it's great to have a new Pokemon, she is 4 times weak to fighting, the specialty of the Dewford Gym. Aaron has a hardy nature, which is neutral, and also has the Rock Head ability, which prevents recoil damage. I grind my Steel duo up to the level cap of 19 as I venture through Granite Cave to deliver the letter to Steven. After he gifts me the TM for Steel Wing and confirms he does have a Pokénav, I can challenge the Dewford Gym. This took me so many tries. I could have won with only 1 knockout, but because there are only so many Steel Pokemon in this game, I knew I couldn't afford it. So after literal hours, I finally had this battle. I lead with Aaron, who I give the Silk Scarf to boost its headbutt attack. I'm relying on a lot of dice rolls, so I start with a Mud Slap to lower Machop's accuracy. He bulks up, giving me a free shot with Headbutt, and I'm lucky enough to get the flinch. My next Headbutt is a crit, which takes out Machop, bringing out Meditite. Meditite is an easy KO since it keeps going for Focus Punch and I can break its focus with an attack. I go for Metal Claw, hoping to get the attack boost, but even though I don't get it, I can still take down Meditite in just 2 hits. This brings out Makuhita with Aaron still at full health. Vital Throw can't miss, so Mud Slap won't help and I go for Headbutt. I get the flinch and try my luck at boosting my defense with Iron Defense, but even after 2, he's able to bring me to KO range. I then switch into Mecha Grim. Without having to worry about 4 times effective attacks, I can get a few setup moves off while Makuhita does only a decent amount of damage. Focus Energy and Leer lead to a crit quick attack that takes down the fighting type and secures me the Knuckle Badge. Brawly gives me the TM for bulk up and I am completely exhausted.
Alright, hey! Alright, good job guys.
Now in Slateport, I deliver the Devon goods to Captain Stern before venturing north toward Mauville City. Along the way, I run into May, who challenges me in what is a really tough battle at this point. I have to solo with Mecha Grim and Focus Energy, since her Combuskin can one-shot either of my Pokemon and I need a crit to beat her to the punch. Fortunately, Wingull goes down easy, and after a close call from a 4-time super effective Ember, I get my crit on my second quick attack to take down Combuskin. I'm nervous now because Mecha Grim is down to 10 HP and I can't really risk Aaron against Lombre, so I stay the course. I hit 1 quick attack, take a pathetic Astonish, and hit my second quick attack to win the match. As a reward, May gives me possibly the most creatively named item in the game, the Item Finder. Wait, emeralds are green.
Green is not a creative color.
In Mauville, I'm shown pity for having dirty shoes and a nice man bestows a bicycle upon me. I wish I could ride off into the distance because Watson, the Mauville gym leader, is notoriously difficult in Emerald Challenge runs. You may notice that there's just some bike riding filler footage on screen right now. That's because after attempting the Watson battle countless times, and I mean countless times, I concluded I would not be able to win with just my 2 Pokemon at the level cap of 24. So rather than end the video here, I extended the cap to just under the next gym at 27. I recorded and deleted so much footage of my failed battles, only to find that I was not recording during my 1 successful battle. I was going to reload a save and try again after my victory, but I honestly didn't believe I could do that again within a time frame that would keep my sanity intact. So I started recording during the post-battle speech, and as you can see, I did lose Mecha Grim in the battle. This is sad, but perhaps a fair consequence, and I'll have to continue the run without my starter Pokemon as I release Mecha Grim back into the wild. Now able to use Rock Smash, I can venture north and upward on my way to the next gym. On Route 113, I finally have another chance at a team member in Skarmory. I catch it and name him Skarl. He's got an adamant nature to raise attack and lower special attack. He's underleveled, but nice to have a new Pokemon alongside Aaron. I continue on to Fall Arbor Town, but then directly onto Meteor Falls, where I encounter Team Magma stealing a space rock or something. I don't know. So obviously, I've got to climb the volcano now, and oh my god, what is this game? On top of Mount Chimney, I meet the leader of Team Magma, Maxie, and take him on with Skarl. This was a relatively easy battle with Skarl leveled up. I can take out Mightyena with Air Cutter and Swift before Camera Up comes out, and I got a little scared. Fortunately, he uses a ground type move on my flying type for some reason, so I can safely take out the fire type threat with a couple of Air Cutters. Zubat makes a valiant effort with Supersonic, but Skarl breaks through confusion to defeat him in just 2 hits for the victory. And I'm pretty sure I just saved the world, and I don't even have 4 badges yet. Neat! Leaving the volcano, I meet a nice old cookie vendor who I can buy a lava cookie from that is basically a discount full heal. I don't need it right now, but I'll keep it close by just in case.
Be here if you need me.
Okay, on deck. He's on deck. Cookie's on deck.
Next, I can finally reach Lava Ridge, where I can take a quick dip in the famous hot springs, where surely nothing creepy will come from this old couple.
I find when one first enters the scalding waters of the hot tub, It is not unlike your first encounter with a new lover.
Run! I take on Flannery for my 4th gym badge, and with a fire specialty, I'm once again at a disadvantage with just Scarl and Aaron. I accidentally went into this battle at level 30, one above the cap, but still could never manage any kind of significant damage against her highly defensive Torkoal. So I finally admit I'll have to tweak my rules yet again for any chance of continuing forward. After failing at level 30, I try at level 31 and I fail again. But that's alright.
I can do this all day.
No, wait, it's supposed to be the other guy.
I can do this all day.
No, not that other.
Whatever.
So back in Pokemon, I bump my team up to level 32, which means my Aaron evolves into a Lairon, and might be my saving grace here. This proves to be true, as I'm able to get through Flannery's first 3 Pokemon just as easy as ever, forcing her to burn through her 2 Hyper Potions before bringing out her ace Torkoal. Unfortunately, Scarl is no match for Torkoal and falls immediately, but Aaron comes in to win the battle with a combination of Headbutt and Dig, earning a new status.
You're an Avenger now.
Mission accomplished! And we all survived. Me, Aaron,
I don't feel so good.
Okay, well, not Scarl, who I have to release, bringing me back down to a single Pokemon. I make a beeline for Petalburg to challenge for the Balance Badge against Norman. So I'm writing this part before I attempt the gym. Looking at my notes, I don't have another Pokemon available until just before the Elite Four. And without a Pokemon to sacrifice and justify further breaking the rules of this run, I'm not feeling too hopeful. But I give it a shot anyway. Still at level 32, but 33 after a couple of mandatory battles. This is 2 levels over the current cap, so I should have a chance. He leads with Spinda, who is able to confuse me with Teeter Dance before falling to Rock Tomb and Headbutt. This brings out Slacking, a huge threat, but fortunately an easy one to work around, as I can time my Dig attack to alternate with his Truant ability, meaning I can whittle away at his HP while he only occasionally gets the Speed Tie advantage. After he heals with a berry, I can eventually take him out with an Iron Tail before he reaches potion range. I've got a little less than half health as he brings out Vigoroth next. He doesn't have any effective attacks, finally I get a break, so I knock him out with Headbutt and Iron Tail to bring out Linoon. Linoon. He sets up with Belly Drum, but that cuts his HP down enough for me to be able to defeat him with a final Headbutt and earn my 5th badge in about as legal of a manner as we've had so far. Wally's uncle gives me the HM for Surf to help me celebrate, and I can now turn my attention to Fortree City. So I just lied to you, because I completely forgot I now have access to New Mauville, where thankfully I can find a new reinforcement for the team.
Yeah, bitch! Magnets! Oh!
I catch Magnemite and obviously name it Pinkman. Pinkman has a sassy nature, which means less speed and more special defense. It unfortunately also has Magnet Pull and not Sturdy, which would likely be more useful. I've got room to level up Pinkman though, and can immediately evolve it into Magneton for some added firepower. Magneton immediately shows its value, as I can use it to race through Team Aqua at the Weather Institute, being rewarded with a Pokemon with a pretty interesting gimmick that I can't even use.
Well, damn, Jackie, I can't control the weather!
But moving along, I'm challenged by May again, and I think this is for sure where the run would end if I hadn't picked up Pinkman. It can easily take out Pelipper with a 4x Stab Spark, then 2 Sparks take out Combuskin, as it just sand attacks. And finally, I can finish off Lombre with a couple of Sparks as well. May also gives us the HM for Fly, which will be helpful after the next gym badge. Speaking of, I go into the battle with Winona at 35 each, due to some unavoidable battles and only having 2 usable Pokemon. Still, I finally have a type advantage for a gym battle, so it's a negligible difference. I start with Aaron, who can drop Swablu with a rock tomb. Next, she withstands an earthquake from Altaria and can also bring it down with rock tomb. The biggest threat is now out of the way, and I bring in Pinkman against Pelipper for an easy out with Spark. Skarmory is next, and come on Winona, too soon, this is not cool. Spark is a one-hit again. Tropius resists electric, so I switch up the strategy and go with a Parafusion approach before taking her out with Spark as she struggled to deal any damage at all. I am awarded with the Feather Badge, and now... yeah, now I can fly. When I reach Lilycove City, I battle May again, and it's almost a shot-for-shot recreation of the previous battle, just with Aaron seeing some action to start, and May finishing with her now fully evolved Ludicolo. This leads to more story, and along the way, Aaron becomes a fully evolved Aggron. And necessary evolution as I battle again with Maxie. He starts with Mightyena, and Pinkman can bring it down. Next comes Camerupt, and it was impossible for me to beat it without evolving Aaron. First, I confuse it with Pinkman, then switch. I can just barely tank an Earthquake, and after 2 confusion hits, I can finish him off with Strength. His Crobat is an easy out with Pinkman though. I make a quick run through the Aqua hideout as well before challenging Tate and Liza at the Moss Deep Gym. Now, folks, we've had a lot of fun bending the rules on this one to make it work for as long as possible, but here is where our luck simply runs out. I made multiple attempts, but like the 2 you're seeing here, Claydol always uses Earthquake, and there's no way my Pokemon can withstand it. So, sadly, and I mean it this time, we've got to call this run over. If I still had my full team available, particularly Scarl, I may have had a slim chance, but...
we lost. You weren't there.
Emerald is one of, if not the hardest game in the series, and with minimal options for team members, the first few gyms are a buzzsaw, as you've just seen. I thought I could formulate a plan and make it somewhat work, and it turns out...
not a great plan.
That's enough wallowing though, because it's time to spin the wheel and see what type we'll have for our next challenge run. You may have guessed we're heading to Sinnoh next, and it looks like it's going to be rock types. Alright, this should be interesting. I may have a good idea in mind for redemption here as well. And we're gonna need it after the showing here in Pokemon Emerald. If you're not subscribed, make sure you do so. You do not want to miss the next challenge, which will now officially be Pokemon Platinum with only rock types. Thank you so much for watching. What could I have done differently to have had greater success in this run? Let me know in the comments along with your prediction for the rock type challenge next month. While you're here, consider checking out the other videos we have on the channel. There's a couple suggestions on screen right now. And of course, follow the show on social media for all the updates. I have been cooking up some exciting changes for the 3rd season of the podcast, along with even more video exclusive content. See you next time in Sinnoh.